Start in child's pose. Reach your hips back towards your toes. Keep your knees wide. Drop your forehead to the ground. Breathe in and out into this space, being with however that you feel, whatever thoughts are in your head. The point of yoga is not to empty the thoughts, but to instead become an observer, their origin, their impact. And keeping yourself here, not letting those thoughts pull you outside your practice, into another situation or another time. Rise up onto all fours, wrists underneath your shoulders, hips over your knees. And let's take a wrist stretch on the left side. So just flip that hand, fingers are now facing your body. And then set that back neutral and just do the other side. So flip. Just put a little bit of pressure there. Just enough to where you can feel the muscles up the forearm lengthen to the wrist. All right, so now we're going to do the other way. So we rotate. So it's the inner part of the forearm. And you can kind of lean back a little bit. Let's rotate that back neutral. Other side, so rotate. Put the palm of the hand down, lean back, stretching out the forearm on the inner part into the inner elbow. Rotate it back neutral. Walk the hands further down the mat, bringing the chest into puppy dog, which is just a cross between child's pose and downward facing dog on the knees. This is also a place that you can practice downward facing dog if we're a beginner, or if we've got anything going on physically that would keep us from practicing down dog safely. This is a good place to land. Thread the needle, right arm comes under, right cheek to the mat. We just keep that same shape in the left side. Keep reaching through the right fingertips. As you come back to center, switch sides. Left arm goes under, left cheek to the mat. Keep reaching through those left fingertips. Back through center. Plant the hands about as wide or wider than your shoulders. Curl the toes, downward facing dog. So pedal out the feet, just a few breaths here to get off the knees, get some blood flow in the back of the body. Now bring the knees about 2 inches from the mat, hover them, press the hands into the mat firmly like you're pressing the mat away from you. And actively pull the low belly in, bear pose is what we call this one. You can feel the thighs activate, feel the lower belly activate, stabilizing that low back. Big full breath in, and exhale, slowly drop the knees, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, inhale cow, scooping the tailbone and the shoulders up, and then exhale, press and round cat, dropping the tailbone, dropping the head to make a curve in the spine. Inhale, look up, bring the tailbone up. Exhale, round through the back. So keep the breath moving as you move through those two postures, cow and cat. In our standing postures, we want to really kind of find somewhere in between these two, but it feels really good to the spine in a safe position to move through these with our breath. Now come back to that neutral point. Pull that belly around you again without making your hips drop so we don't want to really notice like a huge movement there. We want to just pull softly in. Curl the toes under, back into downward facing dog with that belly engaged. Then walk to the top, to the top. Feet land and take them again wide. So wider is always more stable. Feet closer together is less stable, but it could be more challenging muscularly. Let's grab our arms, let our head drop. Of course, bending the knees to give your low back more space or the hamstrings more space. Sway if that feels good. You can get some side body opening if you kind of rock from one thigh to the other thigh. Remember, we're just warming up the body here. preparing to move blood through the muscles, preparing for bigger movements. We'll also work on those movements that refine, making sure that we're living in both of those worlds and not just one or the other. Drop the hands, heel toe the feet to touch. Put the hands on the hips, pull the belly in, stand all the way up. Reach the hands overhead, breathe in. Bow forward, pulling that belly in again. Exhale. Fingertips to shins, lengthen from tail to head, halfway lift. Fold, plant the hands, step back, plank pose. Drawing yourself all the way down to the belly. Cobra, lift up just halfway, then roll your heart back down, downward facing dog. Good. Big toes to touch. Bend through the knees. We can take a couple of steps or one light hop to the top. Keep your hips high. If you're hopping, boop. We don't want our hips to come down to the heels. Keep them high, forward fold. Okay, inhale, rise up, breathe in. Bow, exhale, pull the belly in. Fingertips to shin, lengthen from tail to head. Step back, high plank. This time to the belly or chaturanga. Elbows just right here by your sides. Then upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Good. Couple of inhales, couple of exhales. Toes together, look between the hands, step or lightly hop. Okay, halfway lift, let's move a little bit quicker. Fold, exhale, rise up, inhale. Let's find a rhythm, fold, exhale. Fingertips to shin, lengthen halfway, chaturanga. Exhale the breath out as you lower. Upward facing, fill up. Downward facing, breathe out. So 2 more sun A's, top of the mat, however you get there. Halfway lift, lengthen. Fold, breathe out. Rise all the way up. Bow forward, exhale. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Okay, bend through the knees, step, hop, or jump, top of the mat. Halfway lift, fold forward. Inhale, rise. Last sun A, fold forward. Half lift, lengthen. Chaturanga, strong spine, strong legs. Lift the heart, upward facing. Lift the hips. Downward facing. Good. 5 breaths. Spread the fingers. Find stability in the hands and the feet. And bring the right knee to your heart as you move into plank. So right knee to the heart. Squeeze it in. Step lightly between the hands. Step your left foot, so get some buoyancy, charge that left foot up, and we're going to just sit low into chair pose. Oh, almost said boat. That would be way too early, right? Sitting low, we can bring the hands wider to give our shoulders more space. Big full breath in, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, lengthen, chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot, warrior 1. So plant, left foot down, strong left leg. Turn towards that right thigh with the chest and the gaze. Bringing the shoulder blades down the back so we do not create extra tension in the upper part of our neck. Get a little lower, knee over the ankle, shin straight up and down. Full breath in. Chaturanga flowing through. Exhale to lower. Inhale to fill. Upward facing. Downward facing. So same thing. Side 2. Left knee in plank pose. Pulls into our heart. Close enough to kiss it. Lightly step. Put the back foot down. Rise up. Chest and hips face that left thigh. We're bending deeply, sending more energy into the right leg so that we are traveling down to anchor into the ground. Breathe. Got to remind myself of that every once in a while. Shut up and breathe. Take it wider if we need to. Lift the heart. Chaturanga on your exhale. Make that exhale last till you come down, upward, refill. Downward facing exhale. Pedal out the feet. Bend through the knees. Step, hop, or float. Chair pose right into it. Sit low, 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 low. Anchor through the heels, lift the toes. Breathe in, forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. So right foot steps, flowing through. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Maybe float the right leg if you'd like. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side, step and go. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Chaturanga. Upward, downward. Right, one more time through. Bend through the knees, step, hop, or float. Chair pose. Fold, breathe out. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot. Warrior one. Back down, breathe out. Getting that blood flowing. Big movements, but refining at the same time. Moving with your breath. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. 5 breaths. Whew. Bend through the knees. Gaze, step, or hop. Light as can be. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Rise up. Sit low. Okay, 5 breaths here. So now cultivating some intensity, some heat. We call that tapas. Not the kind that you eat. These are not tapas that you find at a restaurant. These are the tapas that refine. Refining by fire. Ooh, fire. One more breath. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot steps. Inhale those hands high, back foot flat. Warrior one. Now warrior two. Widest standing side angle or side posture. Bringing the hands out. Look over your right finger. Straight up and down in that right shin. See, am I straight up and down? There I am, right there. And I'm going to hold and breathe. Shoulders over the hips. So you might need to pull back a little bit towards this left thigh. Typically, we're here. So pull it back. Be in alignment. Focus the drishti. I'm shaking too. Reverse. Keeping that same bend so that we don't come here. We're going to keep that same bend in the knee and reach back. Chaturanga on your next exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Good. Left side. Same story. Different side. Set it up. Back foot flat. Bend through the knee. Fix the gaze. Reverse the posture. Keep the bend. Breathe into the side body. Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Inhale. Down dog. Breathe out. Good. Right foot. Warrior one. Let's keep moving. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side. Warrior one. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right side. Not even going to the top of the mat, guys. We're just moving. Reverse. Chaturanga. Just through those 2 postures, the 3 if you count the reverse. Right, left side, same story. Lift up. Warrior two. Reverse. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Good job. Now take it to the top. Sit low into chair. Bring the hands to the heart. Twist. So going left elbow to the right knee, or the hand can come to the knee. Lift the heart. So the booty stays low. When we start to do this and tip forward, you see where that twist starts to bring the pressure? Brings the pressure into the low back. Because our weight is forward and we're not supported in the low spine. So here we can support by pulling in because our thighs are gonna have to be activated. Let's go to the other side. Thighs have to be activated to keep us this low, right? Thighs don't have to be activated to keep us here. Really have to be activated to keep us here. Chest towards the hands, so press into the hands. Breathe, right? Shut up and breathe. Fold. All right, take the feet wide. Peace fingers, first 2 fingers, big toes. Just lengthen up halfway, then bend the elbows. Remember a little softness behind the knees as much as you need to, and fold, let your head drop. Release the toes. Heel toe your feet back to touch. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So let's stand now on the right foot. I'll turn to face you. So I will be standing on my right foot, so it might not look the same as your shape. We're gonna bring this left knee up. So just let it hover in space here. And don't pull it in like, well, let's just let it be right out from that hip. So we might feel a little bit of action in the thigh as well. That's good because those are connected. Pull the belly into support without lifting through the upper rib cage, right? So keep this pulled down. So we have this energy that's moving down and up right here in the middle. It's a nice little lock. Now we can extend, hold, keeping this lock here. If we lean back, pull it back, shoulders over hips. Peace finger can come to the big toe, or you can go back to that bent knee position with your hand on your knee. I'm gonna fall. There we go. Open it up to the side if you'd like to. Gaze over at your right thumb for a little extra balance challenge. Then bring it back to center. We'll kick it behind us for airplanes. Now turn back to the side. You stay just where you're at. As you kick back behind, look at the chest. It's up higher than the hips. We're not here in airplane. Okay, keep it high. That's so we can strengthen the back. So really bring those shoulder blades together. Point through the left toe. Spread the fingers. Make every single part of your body a part of this pose. This is the refining part. Refine, refine, refine. I'm going to fall. So why don't we meet standing splits? Woo! Left toes high. Wrap that left hip down a little bit. Okay? We all tend to come here. Just wrap it down a little bit. Lift from the top of this thigh. Lift, lift, lift. Left foot down. Take the feet wide. Stand on the hands, so gorilla pose. Or you can take a ragdoll or peace fingers, big toes. There's lots of options here. Same shape, just different ways of doing it. Slightly different effects. Noticing those subtleties of each pose. All right, release the feet. Heel toe them back to touch. Stand up strong. Hands to the heart. So we're going to do the other side. This time I'll face the side, so maybe you get a different view. But same story, different sides. Left foot stays on the ground, right knee lifts. So see if you can find equanimity. I love to put my hands on my hips and physically feel the equanimity in my hips. Because then you might be able to perceive if one hip is higher or lower and try to bring those manually back in line, energetically using the muscles, manually using the hands to palpitate. Okay, so we can stay here. Remember, shoulders over hips as we press forward like we're pressing on the brake or the gas, right? Depends on what kind of driver you are, without leaning back. Pull the belly in, slide the shoulders down, find that lock in the center. Now you can come back here or here. This is my side that wobbles a lot, so I'm gonna probably take a little while to get into this. We come out, pull the belly in, lift the chest to the side, remembering that no joint ever has to be locked out. So bringing a little bit of a bend to the knees to create more muscular engagement and less reliance on the joint, which was what makes this so dang hard. Ooh, left booty is on fire. All right, airplane. Done with that. Shoulder blades hug, point the toe, spread the fingers. It should all be working. If it's not, mentally find something that needs to be pulled into this pose. And standing splits will meet, wrapping the right hip down, lifting through the right toes from the top of the thigh, upward, skyward, maybe a little bit more, and fold forward. Good job. All right, top of the mat if you're not already there, halfway lift, breathe in, fold forward, breathe out. Reset into Tadasana all the way up. Back onto that right foot. So another round of balancing, right foot down, left heel kicks towards your butt. So feel that engagement, heel towards the butt, grab the foot. We can either be inner or outer part of the foot, depends on your shoulder. Inner part of the foot, that arch is more opening through the front of the shoulder. Okay, dancer's pose is where we're going. Shut up and breathe. Left thigh, always facing the ground in these postures that are closed hip. This is a closed hip. I'll show you open hip here in a second. Because from dancer's pose, we're going to very slowly release the left foot, turn into half moon. So our hips become open like a warrior two. Upper body is engaged like a side plank. And we breathe, lifting through this outer hip. Pull the toes towards your face so that left leg is supercharged. Okay, breathe. And then slowly close that hip, lower the hand, forward fold. Rise up. Same story, side two. Right heel, squeeze the hamstring. Find the part of your foot that you can access. Lift the left hand up, kick it forward. Rolling the right thigh towards the ground requires some muscular strength, so don't just rely on the grasp of the hand. Use the action of the thigh as we kick and reach, pulling in opposite directions. Slowly turn and rotate. Half moon, open those hips. Flex to the right foot. Engage the outer part of your right hip. Little lift through the upper body. Forward fold. Good. Halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Rise up, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Good. All right, right leg lifts. Open up through the hip, bend the knees, stabilize the shoulders. Right, so we don't want to be twisting in the upper back. We want to have a nice long spine. We're opening from the hip. And you can stay here or begin to flip your dog over, extending through the hips, but pressing through that left hand, reaching through the right fingertips, opening up that right lat, back over, three-legged down dog, and then just continue to roll to the right side as you lower the leg, side plank. So right hand is down, left hand's lifted. It's okay if you're reversed because we're going to do both sides, right? Keep pressing away, tucking the hip and the shoulders, the hip and the ribs, wrong body part, up higher. Hold, 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 hold. You can do it. Back to high plank. Breathe in. Low plank. Breathe out. Up dog. Down dog. You guessed it. Same story. Side two. Left leg lifts. We're going to keep the shoulders stable as we open through the hips. Begin to tip. Flip your dog. Reach through the hips. Strong glutes. Open side bodies. Back over. Lower the left leg as you turn. side plank. Left knee can drop, right leg can lift, maybe express yourself here. Back to high plank, low plank, breathe out. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg high lunge, so we're up on the back toes. Keeping both hips forward, pull that right hip back to do that. Warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Side angle. So let's start here, forearm to the thigh. The collapse, just like a little puppet whose puppeteer is let go. Right? So this is not where we want our side angle. This is like, remember we want our bodies to be, all of our bodies to be part of this. We want to move and refine. It's big muscles and small muscles. So use those small muscles. Push. Open through the heart, so rotate through the chest. Left arm lifts. Maybe utthita and extend. We keep this arm. Continue to press away from the thigh as we lean. That's going to make muscles engage. And you make them engage a little bit more. Thighs, core, arms. Everything's a part of this pose. Side angle. I'm not even down to the ground, right? But everything is part of this pose. Pushing, pulling, expressing, reverse. Chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing, left side, high lunge, step lightly, up on the back toes. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward, belly locks in without the shoulders lifting and tensing. Open to warrior two, find some space, reverse, extended side angle, remember puppet, collapse, push, refine, engage, energy, open, side angle, utthita extend. Press into the earth, pull that energy into the hips and thighs, rotate from the belly, reverse, chaturanga. Up dog, down dog. Good, bend through the knees, step hopper, float through to a seat. So we will begin to cool down the body a little bit at a time. If you'd like to add on to this practice and move to another video, feel free. If this is all you've got time for today, it counts. Does not have to be an hour to count. 30 minutes counts. We're going to do half pigeon seated. So left foot is down on the earth and right ankle is crossed onto the left knee. So we create this nice little figure four shape where we're going to activate the right foot. And then just kind of scoot yourself in however the depth your body will allow. I like to rock it a little bit. You can lie down and do this one too. But we're starting from here because we're going to walk this left foot down and put the right foot on the ground so that we're seated, turn back the other way, in a little twist. Feel free to also keep the right foot on the outside edge. So left hand goes high. So opposite hand, opposite knee, twist to your right though. Keep sitting up really tall, pressing the right sitting bone into the earth, pulling the belly in, lifting the heart towards the thumb on that left hand. Now back through center, unwind. Right leg extends, stack the left knee on top, and let's come to that seated half pigeon. Remember, just find the depth. This is really great because we can use our own body weight to move forward or back, to engage it a little bit more, to deepen it a little bit more, to back out of it a little bit. Whew. Breathing into any moments of intensity, anything that the body is resisting, you always just breathe. We don't drop. We don't become disengaged in a pose. We become aware of the subtleties of our body and how the breath changes that, how the breath can affect the subtlety. All right, let's come to that seated twist on this side. So just inch the right leg forward. Bring the left foot flat on the outside. Right arm, left knee. So use that right arm to help you twist. Use your left hand, this back one, to push you. So push it into the ground. I like to straighten the arm. So I have short arms, so that works really well. Heart lifts towards this thumb. It's a good reminder. Heart towards the thumb, lifts up, twist back, come back to a seat. Both legs extend, finding those two bones in your butt. I like to kind of lift, pull it back, sit it down, reach up, toes towards your face, lengthen forward, and then you just come right here. Knees can bend, like this is all valid poses. Then you will always keep that length. So instead of coming here and tucking the ribs in, see if you can push the ribs forward, lengthening, and then come down. Dropping the head last where we run out of space, using the breath to create that, any additional space, even if it's just in our minds. Lift back up, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. Same principle, I like to kind of lift, ensuring I have that stability in the pelvis to find the length in the spine. I would encourage you not to go hold onto your feet and pull, right? I like to instead bring the hands to the ankles or the shins to lean forward, because then it doesn't torque our knees. I even like to, if you can, elbows to the shins to press the heart forward to keep that length in the spine, and our thighs open with a long back, and then you can drop the head into any challenge or may press up. Let's roll onto our backs, get our feet just up into the air. If you have a brick, you can bring your hips up on top of one. Otherwise, just let your legs hang, maybe even like kind of wiggle them around. That feels good. It's weird, but it feels good. And slowly, happy baby, bring the knees towards the armpits, pressing the hands into the feet, and feet opposed. Just come and twist. So put that left leg down the mat. Right knee hugs in. Just go into a little twist. We don't have to bring it to the extreme. You can press the knee back into the hand if you want more sensation, as opposed to pressing the knee towards the earth. So again, that push-pull to create engaged opening poses, as opposed to poses that we just become limp in. Keeps our joints protected, allows our minds to stay in the pose. Since we are not in Shavasana left, we don't want to let our body just kind of leave the practice. Switch sides, so right leg down, left knee in. As you twist over, come to this shape and then press the hand down to the knee, and the knee is going to try to lift into the hand. You can look in the opposite direction. Coming back to center, extend the arms by your sides and the legs down the mat, Shavasana, closing the eyes, beginning to pay attention to the quality of the breath, the length of the inhales and exhales, how relaxed the upper body is, how released the lower body is, how much space you have underneath the skin, in the lungs, between the muscles where the blood flows, from the crown of the head to the tips of your toes, dropping further and further into your mat, allowing the earth to hold you up, support you in this position. Feel free to rest longer in Savasana. Otherwise, roll to the comfortable side, press up to a seat. Coming to a comfortable seat, could be cross-legged or not. Bringing the hands to the heart, remembering the discipline and dedication of our practice and having gratitude for that and what it brings to our lives. And the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.